This is an early to mid 20th century grained leather Gladstone bag. And there seems to be a lot of confusion over exactly what a Gladstone bag is. It's a name which is often used to describe many bags which are not Gladstone bags. Well, the Gladstone bag was invented by a chap called Beard in the mid 19th century, and he was an admirer of William Gladstone, the Prime Minister at the time, who reportedly liked to travel, and so he named it after Gladstone. And in 1854, the leather workers, Cole Brothers, took out a patent on the Gladstone bag. And in a way, the idea comes from that of a portmanteau trunk. A portmanteau trunk is a trunk which opens in half to give you two compartments. And that's what you have with this bag. So we've got a metal frame which runs all the way along the height of the bag, which then allows you to, I need two pairs of hands here, to open it in half. And so you can open it out flat like that, and you've got two compartments to store your clothing. One compartment here, this one's got straps on it, and then you've got a dividing board to the middle, and this one has got straps which keeps the board in its position. So let's just show you that. If I can undo the strap, which doesn't want to play. There we go. It's got this nice little butterfly shaped leather tab here, which then pulls forward and gives you your compartment to the top. And this one has also got a pocket to the board with a little gusset to the side to open up. So you can see the metal frame goes all the way around and divides it in half so you can fold the bag flat. And that essentially is the Gladstone bag. And it was such a good design that it probably lasted, well over 100 years. And in fact, there are people who are still making Gladstone bags. This one had a maker's label here. We can see a shadow mark. Unfortunately, it's been removed at some stage, so we don't know who the maker is, which is always a disappointment to us. We always like to know who the makers are of different items. So that's a Gladstone bag, and it's made of grained leather. As I said, I'll just come in a little bit closer, so hopefully you can see that pattern. And basically grained leather, it's leather hide which has been put through a rolling machine to give it this sort of grained pattern. This bag has got two straps, which again quite typical of a Gladstone bag. There are loops underneath to hold it, and loops on the sides to hold them both in place, and those further secure the bag when it's done up. And to the bottom you've got 6 little dome studded feet just to keep it off the ground, which might be wet, to help protect it. So that's your Gladstone bag. Now, I've often seen these bags described as Gladstone bags. They're not. These are what we would call a kit bag or square-mouthed bag. And that's what a lot of the manufacturers used to call them. And you'll see them described as such in their catalogues. Some of them also gave them more fancy names to help sell them. So the Army and Navy Store, for instance, did a particularly large kit bag or square-mouthed bag, which they called a Wellington bag. And a square-mouthed bag, as it sounds, gives you a square mouth when opened. So this has got a metal frame as well, but we can see it doesn't go all the way down the side like the Gladstone bag. It's only to the top, the top mouth of the bag, and so there you have your square mouthed bag when that's all opened up. So that's a very useful kit bag. It could be used by a sportsman, it could be used by someone going off for a weekend to put all of their items in, and that's a square mouth bag. Now, lots of smaller bags like this one are also often called Gladstone bags. Well, or sometimes they're called doctor's bags if they're this small. Well, the doctors did start to use Gladstone bags in the 19th century, in the late 19th century, because it was very practical for them. But doctor's bags tended to have a removable lining to the inside, so the lining could be taken out and washed and sterilised just to make it all a bit cleaner. But small bags like this are not Gladstone bags. They've got a square mouth like your kit bag, and this is a money bag. It's lined in leather. It's particularly strong in its build, and it was made literally for carrying money, so it needs to be strong. And if you look at the handle, you can see the straps underneath the body of the bag are linked to the handle. They're part of the handle, so you've got a nice and strong bag to take all of the weight. You often see other smaller square mouth bags like this, which sometimes are fitted, and they tend to be called doctor's bags as well. Well, they might be doctor's bags. They're certainly not Gladstone bags like this one. So a Gladstone bag, to sum it up, opens in the two halves. You've got a metal frame which runs from the bottom of the bag all the way over the top to allow it to open in half. It was patented in 1854 by Cole brothers. Lots of other people after that made the Gladstone bag. And basically you can open it up into two halves like this, a little bit like a portmanteau trunk. This one is made of grained leather. It's early to mid 20th century. There was a maker's name to it. Sadly, it's lost and we don't know who the maker is. The condition of it is quite good. Its one strap has had a little bit of repair to it. The fixing broke and it's just been stitched back on. So that's nothing major. It's got initials HAS stamped in black to the front, and the condition is pretty good. It's still a very usable bag. You know, if you wanted a bag for a weekend, then a bag like this would certainly be quite a stylish accompaniment on your trip. Early 20th century, grained leather, Gladstone bag.